looking at Genesis chapter 27 and 28. And that part of the Bible is talking about the two brothers, Jacob and Esau. Now, some of y'all may be familiar with their story, some of y'all not so much. But the way I interpret it was Jacob and Esau are brothers. And Jacob, he did some pretty terrible things. Like, he talked Esau, his brother, he talked him out of his birthright, and he deceived his father, Isaac, into thinking that he was Esau, and it was just the whole thing. And so, he also took Esau's blessing. Like, he was just, like, not a good brother. And I was thinking, wow, like, God, he's really terrible. Like, he's a terrible sibling. He's awful. Like, God, how could you even use him? And God had to get me in check, because sometimes we feel like we look at people on the outside and we think, like, bro, they are just, like, too far. Like, what are they doing? And God's like, calm down, because I still have a promise over their life. Because it's crazy, because I read a page in my study Bible, and it was talking about how God keeps his promises. And I wrote down, I said, after all the wild stuff that Jacob did, in chapter 28, God speaks to him and makes many promises to him and says, behold, I am with you, and I will keep you wherever you go, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have spoken over you. So that just goes to show me that Jacob's story started off really bad. He was just doing what he wanted, and he was just like, deal with it, right? But whole time God had chosen Jacob. Like, it really didn't matter what Jacob had done in his past. It did not negate the fact that God had chosen Jacob, and he wanted to do something great through him. So I feel like I felt like after all the mess that Jacob did, God definitely would have forsaken him, and God definitely would have abandoned him and been like, bro, pipe down, you're like on something else. But I think it's just really great to show that God like still wanted to use him. And then I feel like sometimes in our everyday life, we think about all the things that we do wrong. We think about, you know, our past and all the things we've done in the past, and we think about, God, I'm not even thinking about you right now. I'm just doing me, and I forgot all about you. And sometimes I think that we think that God wouldn't do this kind of scenario for us. It's like, yeah, that's cool that it worked for Esau, or yeah, that's cool that it worked for sis at church or sis at the grocery store, but God wouldn't do that for me because I got too much going on. It's just like, I just read what I wrote. I'll just read it. We may feel like, nah, God wouldn't do that for me because I haven't held up my end of the bargain. But it's not about how well you can hold up your end of the bargain, because God's promises are not dependent on our behavior. It doesn't matter what you're doing over here. God does not change, and he always holds up his end of the promise even when we fail. And that's on period. Yes. Throw the Bible. Yes. Yes. Let me tell you. Just trust God. Like, he will not leave you. His word tells us over and over again that he will not leave us. He will not forsake us. He will be with us. And what that means is, even at your worst, God doesn't take a step back from you and be like, ooh. No, that's not God. Like, even when we don't choose him, we're still his first choice. We're still his first choice. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because I just felt like, I don't know, he is with you, and he will keep you, and everything that God has planned for you, like, nothing that you do, no matter how far you go, God still has a plan for your life, and he still wants to use you, and he still wants to do great things through you. So don't let your past hold you up and keep you in bondage when God wants you to be free and walk into something great. So I love you guys. I'm so glad it's Wednesday, and I hope you guys were blessed by this word. See you in the next one.